All right, what up, perps? So, bill just got introduced in Alabama. This was on the 29th of February. I didn't know about it until yesterday. Been reading through it, looking through it. This would effectively ban pretty much, I don't know, just about every semi-automatic weapon, any semi-automatic gun in Alabama, really and truly. So, let's get into this. Now, this was introduced by Representatives Moore, Gavin, Sellers, Morris, Jones, Jackson, Hendricks, Boyd, Warren, Drummond, Ford, I think that's my rep from Alabama, Clark, Insler, I always mess his name up, Travis, Lawrence, Chestnut, Hollis, Gray, Campbell, and England. You'll be seeing, I think, England and a couple of these other names and a couple other videos I'm going to do because, well, they're little wannabe tyrants um, who know absolutely nothing about firearms or how to stop crime. So what they're trying to do is push bills that will affect law-abiding people and then won't stop a single damn crime. Now, let's start rolling through this. This was introduced and read in the House Judiciary. I haven't found video of them reading this bill or even introducing it yet. I've been looking all over for it. So let's see. This is the stated purpose of the bill. This bill would prohibit the possession, sale, or transfer of an assault weapon under certain circumstances. There's certain circumstances are about every single circumstance. To provide criminal penalties for violations. And yes, pretty much everything in here is a felony. They got to go through some kind of legal disclaimers up here. Now they got to go through definitions because they just copy and paste this shit. So they go through definition of antique firearm, then they identify the assault weapon. And well, it just basically comes down to any kind of semi-automatic gun. The further you get down into the field, that's why I said it'll ban just about any semi-automatic firearm, semi-automatic shotgun, semi-automatic rifle, semi-automatic handgun. Yes, it will ban pretty much all of them. You know, got some stuff laying around here, and we'll look good as we go through this freaking nightmare piece of just absolute trash. All right. Let's see, they define the assault weapon up here, but this is not the gun they're going after. Any um, selective fire firearm capable of full automatic, semi-automatic, or burst fire. The semi-automatic part right there, or burst fire at the option of the user, or any of the following specified semi-automatic fire. Now, we all know that burst fire, full automatic, those are already federally regulated. They're not banned, in case anybody thinks they're banned. They're just very highly regulated. Um, the new manufacture of firearms was banned in '86, but and there's still some things that happen where firearms were introduced after '86 that could run full auto burst fire. But for the most part, new manufacture after '86 for transferable firearms has been done away with. All right, automatic, semi-automatic, and then they go through and they just basically start listing shit. All AK series rifles, all AR series rifles, AR-10s, AR-180, all AR-180s, all that. Basically anything that looks big and scary like an AR-15. Then they come down through here and they list a number of specific firearms by name. And as always, they've got the catch-all coming in here later, which just basically says anything that has this. Then they come down here and list pistols by name. Now, most of the pistols they're naming right here are pistols that look like this. 10.5-inch barrel AR pistol. Now, when we get further down into the bill, you'll see that their bill would actually affect something like this on the pistol, especially because this has a threaded barrel underneath that compensator. We wouldn't even have to have a comp on it, just a capability to accept a detachable magazine that can hold more than a certain number of rounds and has a threaded barrel. Period. And there's some other sketchy shit in here that might even be further than that. Just, people know nothing about firearms, so their bills are a little screwed. A lot screwed. So then it comes down and lists all these different types of pistols, Uzis, Mac 10s, Tech 9s, Scorpions, to all of the following shotguns are copies, duplicates, altered facsimiles, basically any of your mag-fed shotguns, anything with a revolving cylinder. All right, then it comes down here. A part or combination of parts, let me bring it down so we can see it, that converts a firearm into an assault weapon or any combination of parts from which an assault weapon may be assembled if these parts were in the possession or under the control of the same person. So if I had a gun, say an AR without a pistol grip, without a telescoping stock, and all the other shit, but I had a pistol grip in my possession, then that pistol grip becomes illegal. That forward grip, I know this is the dong off a Romanian AK, that would become illegal. This is actually illegal on 2 counts. One, you have a vertical grip on it, and it partially encircles the barrel where the user can hold it without burning their hands. If I had a gun that was completely legal, but this could possibly go onto it in adjustable stock, this becomes the felony. I do not think in any way, shape, or form this bill has a chance in hell of passing in Alabama. But good God, Democrats, can you guys get any dumber? Good asset. Because you're gonna. I already know. Okay, let's see. So they come down here and then they're defining semi-automatic rifle. Ability to accept a detachable magazine that has one or more of the following. So all it has to do is have a single one of these. If it can accept a detachable magazine. And this, it doesn't even look like a detachable box or something like that. This says just detachable magazine. Folding telescoping stock, we've all read through this stuff before. Pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously beneath the rifle. Or protruding grip that can be held with your non-trigger hand. Just saying. Of course, we were talking about semi-automatic rifle there, but still, we'll get into it in a sec. Absolutely insane. They always mention bayonet mounts. I've looked before. I haven't found a single bayoneting crime in modern history. Just checking something. Flash suppressor threaded barrel designed to accommodate a flash suppressor grenade launcher. I'd very much like one of those. A shroud attached to the barrel, typically not have shrouds attached, a bunch of jackasses, that partially or completely encircles the barrel, allowing the bearer to hold the firearm with the non-trigger hand without burning, but excluding a slide that encloses the barrel. Semi-automatic pistol that has the ability to accept. And this is all of what's illegal. A semi-automatic pistol that has the ability to accept a detachable magazine. I'm gonna learn to talk one day, and has one or more of the following. So again, when we think about semi-automatic pistols, typically we're thinking about this. Nope. It just has to take a detachable magazine and have any of the following. Let's see. So capability, this is like going after something like a Tech 9 where the magazine is outside of the grip. But wait, there's more. A threaded barrel capable of accepting a barrel extender, flash suppressor, forward hand grip. Typically, you don't thread grips on barrels. Okay. Or a silencer. A slide that encloses the barrel that permits the shooter to hold the firearm with the non-trigger hand without being burned. Manufacturing weight of 50 ounces or more. Remember, it just has to be any one of those with the detachable magazine, and it's illegal. So any of your Glocks, SIGs, anything like that that have a detachable magazine and a threaded barrel are all going to be illegal under this. To manufactured weight of 50 ounces or more. So that's basically any pistol, no matter what way I configure this thing. No matter what way I configure this, it'd be illegal. Um, a semi-automatic version of an automatic firearm. Any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand. Folding or telescoping thumb hole stock. Semi-automatic shotgun that has one or more of the following. Folding or telescoping stock. There are a lot of shotguns out there now coming with a telescoping stock. And telescoping just means you can slide it in and out and adjust it a little bit. Doesn't say how much. A thumb hole stock. A fixed magazine in excess of 5 rounds. Now, they don't define that as 5 2 3/4 inch rounds. They don't define that as 5 3-inch rounds or 5 3.5-inch rounds. They just say 5 rounds. I can stick way more than 5 shorties into your average semi-automatic 5-round capacity magazine, 6.2 magazine. But wait, there's more. The ability to accept a detachable box magazine. All those would make a shotgun illegal. Any semi-automatic pistol or center fire or rim fire rifle with a fixed magazine that has capacity to accept more than 10 rounds. That is my old Searsman Robot 22 semi-automatic, 2 magazine on it, definitely holds more than 10 rounds. That gun is illegal. That old wood and blued gun would be illegal under this. And then again, we get into this. Any part or combination of parts designed or intended to convert a firearm into an assault weapon. So anything. Grips, adjustable stocks, hand guards, they partially circle the barrel, allow you to hold it without burning your hand. Any of that. Now, all that's felony, stuff like that. Do any combination of parts from which an assault weapon may be assembled if these parts are in the possession or under the control of the same person. Term does not include antique firearms, firearms that have been made permanently inoperable. Argue with that because you had one gun that was inoperable but had some of these parts on it. You had another gun that was operable and those parts were interchangeable. You're still under this. You're still fucked. Then we get down to some other definitions here. Dealer, which basically goes back to someone having an FFL. Firearm has the same meaning that's in U.S. code or the Code of Alabama, which mirrors U.S. code. Magazine, any ammunition feeding device. Oh yeah, by the way this is read, since oh god, where are all my magazines? Since this magazine will hold more than 10 rounds, Um, this right here, underneath this bill, could be said to be illegal. That could be another felony. Now, for their definition of pistol, this is another reason I hit on pistols. Their definition of pistol is any firearm with a barrel less than 12 inches in length. That's a pistol. Yes, it's clear. No mag. Chamber's clear. No brass. No, yes, completely clear. It's been cleared a few times since I started doing this video. But yeah, that's a pistol that has a detachable magazine and a threaded barrel. According to these idiots, this is a assault weapon. Yep. Then they go into definition of rifle. Their definition of rifle basically it's the same definition that you will see in federal code. Sale or sell, they define that. Then they come in, they define shotgun, which again, that definition is pretty similar to what I've seen in federal code. I've kind of breezed through that part. Do transfer. Now they do define transfer because it would be illegal for me to transfer any of these guns. So to transfer, the intended delivery of a firearm, doesn't even say I have to, it just says the intended delivery of a firearm to a person without consideration of payment or promise of payment, including a gift or a loan. So remember, a transfer is just me handing someone the gun. So me and a buddy are out and we want to go shoot or something like that, and I've got my assault weapon that I have read because they do have registration in here. I've got my gun registered. I hand it to him. That's felony. We'll get to that in a second. All right, notwithstanding Article 3, Chapter 11, which is where they lay out the firearms code and Alabama code, a person commits a crime of unlawful sale or transfer of an assault weapon if he or she knowingly sells or transfers an assault weapon. Crime of unlawful sale or transfer of an assault weapon is a Class B felony. That is enough to send me to prison and for me to lose all of my firearms rights. Crime of unlawful sale or possession of an assault weapon to a person under 18 years of age. So if I'm out and as far as I can see in this bill, if I'm out and I wanted to let my daughter shoot my AR, I've committed an illegal transfer. Class A felony. Yep. Section should not apply to any of the following. Sale of an assault weapon to law enforcement agents. They always exclude government agents from this. So if you're law enforcement, if you're military during your duty, stuff like that, they're exempt from this. Law enforcement, military, or they're just fine. National Guard to have their assault weapons while they're on duty, apparently. Person who is an executor, because everything's got to be registered now. I can't just sell my assault weapon because the sale of this, we'll see down here, is illegal. If I die, I can pass this on to my kids. The executor of a will could take possession of it. They can pass it down, or that executor could then sell it to someone out of the state or sell it to an FFL in state. But I couldn't just give it to a friend. Here you go, buddy. Here's my guns after I die. Nope, couldn't do that. If the disposition is otherwise permitted under this act, transfer by bequest or interstate, interstate, we're trying to mess up that, succession of an assault weapon that has been registered pursuant to this code. So that's where I could pass my guns down to my kids if they're already registered. And then what you'll see here in a second is that my kids would then, within 90 days, have to register it in their name. Which if I dropped dead before my children are 18, I couldn't do that. notwithstanding, this is again Firearms Code of Alabama, that Article 3, Chapter 11, Title 13A. Person commits the crime of unlawful possession of an assault weapon, so just merely me keeping my guns, knowingly possesses an assault weapon. Well, the unlawful possession of a assault weapon, possessing this without registering it, possessing this without registering it, is a Class C felony, and that is Class C felony per gun. That's how that would be charged. This section again shall not apply to the following. They do all their carve outs for all the state actors. Possession of an assault weapon by a person prior to October 1st, 2024, if all the following are met. So this is where we get into the registration. So legally, after October 1st, 2024, I couldn't even buy an assault weapon in the state. Before October 1st, 2024, if this bill would even made it, then I would have to prove I had possession of it before then, and then person registers the assault weapon by April 1st, 2025. Oh, they're so nice. They give me a couple months to register it. Person lawfully possessed the assault weapon prior to October 1st. Person otherwise is in compliance with the act and the applicable requirements for possession of a firearm in the state. In other words, I can possess firearms legally otherwise. So then if I had this before October 1st, 2024, I could possess it, register it, and then I would be legal to have my own property without a felony. It's mighty nice of these people. Person who is an executor, administrator of an estate includes assault weapons that have been registered pursuant to this act, authorized by the probate court. Any person who lawfully possesses an assault weapon prior to October 1st, 2024 shall apply on or before April 1st, 2025. That's for the registration. Or a person, say it's a member of the military, they were serving outside of the state, they come back into the state, they have the 90 days to register that assault weapon. And if they don't register their assault weapon, well, that's a Class C felony. And to register the firearm, well, I've got to give them a description of the assault weapon, all the identifying marks. So apparently I couldn't change anything on the assault weapon after I registered. I couldn't redo Cerakote or something like that, because that would destroy the description of the firearm. Full name, address, date of birth, and fingerprints of the owner. So I got to get fingerprinted on my own property. Any other information the agency might deem appropriate. So like, I don't know, the sheriff or whoever's doing this registration come up with all kinds of hoops for me to jump through. Alabama state law enforcement agents shall conduct a fingerprint-based state and national criminal background check for each person registering an assault weapon. So not only do I have to give over all my damn information to these assholes, more than likely I did a background check when I received the firearm in the first place, which I did on a lot of these because I built them personally myself. But then I would have to go through this process and then have to prove that I'm a person who can actually own these legally. Kind of against that right self-incrimination deal, but okay. I'm legal to own them, but I'm still, if this went through, I ain't registering shit. Matter of fact, I will find sketchy ass loopholes I can go through to go find more pieces and parts to build more shit. I'll go find that sketchy motherfucker selling guns just so I can tear all the parts and pieces down and go build one my damn self. All right. Now, the agency can only charge up to $50 for the registration of an assault weapon. 1, 2, 3, because that gun's an assault weapon. 4. So I'd be a few $100s in pretty easy to get all my assault weapons registered. Agency shall adopt rules no later than April 1st to establish with respect to the application for registration. If a person fails to register an assault weapon on or before or within 90 days of their return to the state, if the person was a member of the military, and then it mentioned someone moving to the state having that 90 days, an applicant's the let's see, the applicant shall arrange to relinquish all assault weapons in their possession. No, 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 not making an appointment to relinquish my shit. Nah, I won't play that. I'll keep that to myself. An applicant who fails to make an arrangement within the time period of this section shall be guilty of a Class C felony. Person may arrange in advance to relinquish assault weapons to law enforcement agencies. Yeah, good fucking luck. An assault weapon possessed pursuant to this act may not be sold or transferred on or after April 1st, 2025 to any person within the state other than a licensed gun dealer. There's no, about the only provision that you see early in this bill is if I die, I can pass these guns on, I can bequeath them to, but a person who obtains an assault weapon that has been registered under this section by bequest or interstate interstate secession, in other words, my estate, the secession of my estate, passing these down to kids, shall do the following within 90 days of obtaining possession. Apply to the Alabama State Law Enforcement Agency. Have the assault weapon registered in the person's name, provided under Section 4. Render the weapon permanently inoperable. Sell the weapon to a licensed gun dealer. Remove the weapon from the state. Any person who moves into the state in lawful possession of an assault weapon within 90 days shall do the following. Apply to the law enforcement agency to have the weapon registered, rendered inoperable, sell the weapons to an FFL, remove the weapon from the state. Subsection B shall not apply to, again, member of military, and this is all the course of their duties, who is in lawful possession of an assault weapon and has been transferred into the state after October 1st. So a member of the military is transferred into the state that has their assault weapon. It's not going to be a felony for them if they move in after October 1st, but they still have to register. The person who is registered an assault weapon pursuant to Section 4 may possess it only under the following conditions. The fuck you going to tell me how I can possess my legal property? Do it with enough other shit. I ain't following it on this. You kiss my ass. Okay, at the person's residence, at their place of business, or other property owned by that person, or on property owned by another person with the owner's express permission. So I could bring it to my friend's house if I have their express permission. While on the premises of a target range of a public or private club or organization for the purpose of practicing shooting at targets. While on the target range holds a regulatory or business license, or while on the target range that holds a regulatory or business license for the purpose of practicing shooting at that range. So that's right there with the provision above means couldn't just any range I go to would have to be licensed apparently. While on the premises of a licensed shooting club. So hey, I'd be able to go to East Alabama Gun Club and still shoot my shit, I guess. While attending any exhibition, and it goes down through here about firearms and education, approved of by a law enforcement agency or a nationally or state recognized entity, fosters proficiency in, promotes education about firearms. While transporting the assault weapon between any of the places mentioned in this subsection or to any licensed gun dealer for servicing or repair, provided the assault weapon is transported as required by this section. So it would be legal for me to put my assault weapon in my vehicle and transport it if I follow their rules right here. Weapon transported as required by the section. Okay. No person shall carry a loaded assault weapon concealed from public view or knowingly have in any motor vehicle owned, operated, or occupied by him or her a loaded or unloaded assault weapon unless the weapon is kept in the trunk of the vehicle or in a case or other container that is inaccessible to the operator or any passenger in the vehicle. Trying to figure out, because if I have it in a case in the back of my truck that's still accessible to me, that's still accessible to, I don't know, people riding in the back of my truck, I have to put 9 locks on it. That way I can make sure no one can. People are such idiots. Like gangbangers gonna follow it. Like, oh man, I can't bring that out. I gotta keep it locked in a case in the trunk. I can't, There's another bill. Well, these other bills are just as dumb as this one. This is just longer than the other one. But there's other bills I'm going to cover from these people that is just mind-numbingly stupid. So if I don't transport my firearm, my assault weapon, in a manner that they like, well, that's a Class C felony. Uh, if an owner of an assault weapon sells or transfers a weapon to a licensed gun dealer, or he or she at the time of delivery of the weapon, this is if I sell this assault weapon, this is what I have to do. I shall execute a certificate of transfer and cause a certificate to be mailed or delivered to the Alabama law enforcement agency. The certificate would have to contain the date or sale of transfer, name and address of the seller or transfer, and the licensed gun dealer, his or her social security number or driver's license number. If they're a gun dealer, they have an FFL number. That should have all the information on it. But okay, licensed gun dealer's federal firearms license number, description of the weapon, make, model, serial number, caliber. It's one of my spooky ghost guns. Guess what? It doesn't have a serial number. This so-called assault weapon you got doesn't have a serial number, like like my carry gun, or like this scary gun. I built these guns. I am not a manufacturer at this point, a federally licensed manufacturer. I am not required to serialize my own fucking property. Any info, and then it goes into any other information that the law enforcement agency would want. Licensed gun dealer shall present his or her driver's license or social security card and federal firearms license to the seller or transfer for inspection at the time of purchase or transfer. Alabama State Law Enforcement Agency shall maintain a database of all certificates of transfer. So they're then going to track. They are going to track all these registrations, and then they have to have it available for law enforcement purposes. I end up doing this a lot with these dumbass kids. When it gets into what a licensed gun dealer and FFL can do, since it's a federal license, they can't touch that. That's the only reason they're making this exception. They purchase a assault weapon outside the state, they may resell or transport in accordance with requirements of Section 6, which means if they bought it out of state, they could only sell it to someone out of state. Licensed gun dealer may display the assault weapon at any gun show or sell to a resident outside of the state. So they would just get to tease us in Alabama with, "Hey, look at this gun. No, you can't buy it. You're resident in Alabama. Um, your government's run by a bunch of idiots." And yes, I do not believe this will pass or even have a hope of passing anytime soon. And God knows, I hope they have a public hearing on it because I'm going to it and I will testify in front of these folks. But we'll see. Licensed gun dealer can of course basically can transport in their normal capacity. They could actually transfer it to a gunsmith to have any kind of service work done on, provided the gunsmith has an FFL. And the gunsmith with whom the dealer has contracted service. So not only do they have to have an FFL, they have to be contracted to do that service. All right. And I think that's pretty much the end of this absolute nightmare deal. So I'm going to hit this up. I'm going to finish doing whatever I'm going to do on this video and then put this thing out here in a little bit and probably try to cover one of these other bills because there's a few anti-gun bills, including red flag laws, that these Democrats in Alabama are trying to push right now. So you perks be cool as always. Keep that thing on you at all times, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.